Hi everyone. Stocks continued to sell off this morning as we expected that they would in the after hours and the pre-market session, but let's take a look at some of the short-term charts and see if we can find some direction as we head into the session. Do me a quick favor and like and subscribe and watch the video till the end to help out the channel, and let's get started. So we did get the PPI data here, and you can see it on this candle, the 7 o'clock candle, through some wicks in both directions, hit that 55 EMA. That's what we're looking for support as we continue to trend down into that pre-market session. That's currently at 605.60. Want to see this zone hold if it's going to do it. Otherwise, right now, this looks like a double top. We saw that big rally yesterday, got into the same consolidation zone, could not close above these levels here, didn't even really touch the wick highs, but right now, 55 EMA, 144 EMA, momentum slightly bearish, RSI showing that this should reject from here, VWAP is going a little bit higher, interesting, highly traded zone is that zone of rejection right now, and I think it'll be interesting to see if we retrace to that zone, or if we do push through these levels and test that 200 SMA down at 603.48. Honestly, it sold off a little bit more aggressively than I would have guessed into that PPI data, but it was already trending down yesterday and it just continued basically in that same trajectory. And then looking at the Tasty charts here, you can see we came into that same zone that we talked about in the video. We did continue to downtrend into that kind of consolidation of EMAs and SMAs. ATR trailing stop still sitting at 605.10 as we trend towards it. Again, I think we'll probably see a touch of that as we continue to trend down here, but we'll see. Momentum, very bearish on the volume-weighted MACD, and the thesis from yesterday of this downtrend into that support area is still intact. And then moving over here to the NASDAQ, you can see we rallied up into the trend line here, sold off from it in the after hours. We did close above it, just like we kind of did here, and then we sold off below it. But we're definitely below it now, well below the 21. Momentum still bearish, RSI still bearish. Is this going to sell all the way to the 55 EMA? Maybe. That's a little bit dramatic, I think, down in the 524.64 area. Trend support is in here. You can see previous highs. That is a zone of support. The way that it's looking, it might. We didn't really see any kind of pop off of the PPI, even with the rally we saw off of CPI yesterday. And technically your dynamic support is in that area. So we'll see. Continuing to watch this in the pre-market as we head into the open. And then looking at the Tasty charts here for the NASDAQ, you can see that similar thesis to the SPY, but it is not selling off quite as strongly yet. We're not quite to that ATR trailing stop at 526.03. We're sitting right on top of the 21. It is still selling and it is below the 8. And it's actually slightly below that midpoint now, but again, remember, the bands are still bullish and still looking for the test of the level, and then we'll see what happens after that. Moving over to Zoom. Zoom is in this kind of rising wedge type of pattern here, rising triangle. You can see these higher lows with that flat top pattern. 87.10 is the level that I have. You can see this trend line here. We did start to make it a little bit choppy in here, which is interesting. Got below it on the Tuesday, got back above it there on the Wednesday session. Really, you need to see it close above 87.10, and then if it does, I think we're probably going to push to that 97 area here, 97.86. You have to go all the way back here to the lows from this kind of consolidation in July of 22. You can see this kind of consolidation gives you that low and high levels that I'd be watching. So right now it does look like a bullish pattern, but I need to see it close above that 87.10 level. And then I would guess that it'll probably move through here fairly quickly. Moving over to RIVN here, you can see it's in this wedge pattern here, choppy price action with a low, higher low here, and the high, lower high in my opinion. You can see we rejected off of that trend line here. Current support is going to be 1270. My guess is that this is probably going to pull back, maybe give you one more higher low and kind of a continuation if we can get there. It was super overbought when we hit that trend line there. Momentum starting to fade. My guess is a lower high off of this previous high, and then look for that higher low type setup, maybe even down in the trend around that 1060 area. Really, it's just in this sideways consolidation pattern. Probably going to continue to sell here over the next couple days. Could be quite dramatic. That would be about a 20 to 22% move into that next zone of support here. So I'd probably be patient on this. Is it eventually going to go higher? Probably. You can see this was the relative low, which was much lower than we've seen on the stock in a long time. The previous low consolidation was in here around that 1250 area. So still low, lower low. You can see pretty clear left shoulder head, right shoulder pattern as we broke through that neckline here. Very strong move to that trend line here. And then that higher low, like I said, still looks like it's going to pull back some, maybe find some support in the mid-range, come up short of the trend line, and then you could probably see a powerful move through here back up to this 1835 area, which was the pivot point back here in mid-July. And then moving over here to DDOG, a stock, again, I don't really watch this, but we did put some structure on it here. Pretty clear uptrend, continues to bounce through this range. We broke through the midline here, and you can see it has been losing a little bit of momentum over the last couple of weeks. Going back here to June, pulled back, couldn't quite get back to that midline after finding a bounce in here. Pulled back to this lowest trend, overthrew it, not super great. And again, rallied off of that level, hit the trend after breaking back above it. Not seeing a push to that upper level yet. Still currently holding the midline. So as long as it holds that midline as support, then you could look for that bigger push up to this upper trend around the 202 area. But critical zone here for DDOG, want to see it hold this level if it's going to do it. Otherwise, 21 EMA would be 147.84. Pretty volatile stock. If it does break down from here, that's going to give you probably a 4 to 5% down move. Momentum right now, bearish. RSI right now, definitely bearish. So this is showing pullback. I would wait for it to kind of culminate on this pullback move. Like I said, you could trade off of the trend line for today's session. That's sitting around the 154.30 area, maybe a little higher, 134.50. Right now, that's sitting around the 154.47, 154.50 area. But like I said, everything does look a little bit bearish here in the short term. You can see last time we broke out, did hold the trend, continue higher. Pulled back right to the trend, waiting to see if we get either the same type of move or if this is going to be kind of a left shoulder head, right shoulder, reject off of that 159 level and then pull back quite a bit more. The volume on the selling seems to be ramping, so I would be patient here. It's selling in the pre-market as well. Overall, I would be short-term bearish, but medium-term probably bullish. And then one more here, we have Mara that is testing this trend here. You can see the structure we've been holding. It's testing that lower trend now. Momentum stepping to bullish. The market has actually opened already, so this is the Thursday candle, but waiting to see if this is going to hold in this structure here. If it does, that gives you a really strong potential for a push back up into that 33 to 34 area. Let's go ahead and extend that out just a little bit here. If you do see it kind of resumption, that could push you maybe into the 35, 36 area. So Mara looking like a decent setup here this morning as well. Let me know down in the comments section what you think of these stocks or the price action we're seeing this morning. Where do you think markets are going to go? And if you have any stocks you want me to take a look at, put those in the comments as well. Otherwise, like and subscribe if you got any value out of this video. Make sure you hit the bell so you don't miss out on any future episodes. Of course, none of this is financial advice. This is all for entertainment purposes. Good luck in your trading and have a great day.